So it's the morning after the night before, well, the day before, and I wanted to wait a little bit just to sort of compose my thoughts. We obviously had the Luton Town show live from the Brickies straight after the final whistle, but that was raw. That was emotion. It's good to let things sit a little bit. Has time helped? No, it has not helped in the slightest. I'm still angry, but you can't change what's been. You gotta sort of move on. And this is obviously a match review. It's been done to death. But in the build up to yesterday's game, you actually have to go really far back, pretty much to the beginning of the season. At the beginning of the season, Rob Edwards was naively confident. Gary Sweet was, I would say, drunkenly confident. Essentially, both thinking we'd go back straight away. First time of asking, we'd be challenging, in the words of Rob Edwards. We'd be challenging for the top positions. Ooh. In the week build up to this game, Gary Sweet has done the rounds because the news of the grounds has been announced. I honestly don't know why they announced that in the week leading up to it. Again, full sense of confidence. After Coventry, where we won with a very sweaty goal, essentially 90 minutes of dominance, all huff, no puff, and a goalkeeper error, defensive error, and then Shannon Baptiste passing it straight to their defender that kicks it into his own goal. It gave us all, and by all, I mean fans, the board, the players, the manager, a false sense of confidence. And that has been our downfall in the game against West Brom yesterday. Essentially, with that Coventry result, everyone was thinking, job done. Of course we're going to win against West Brom because they got nothing to play for. And I said it in the match preview. I've said it a lot. Playing a team that has nothing to play for. They've sacked their manager. They brought in an interim one. It's someone that knows the players really well, knows the club really well. I think James Morrison, or he shares a name with some singer from the 2000s. James Blunt? I can't think. No, I'm pretty sure it's James Morrison who had that one hit that I can't remember what it is. No, I can't remember it. James Morrison comes in and, well, he's an interim. He's got a point to prove he knows all the players. Meanwhile, Gary Sweet's going on Three Counties Radio saying, yeah, I'm feeling good about this. I'm feeling good. The club media team are doing a walk around with Matt Bloomfield. Essentially, it's like a lap of honour. It's like, oh, so Matt, how are you feeling about the game? Yeah, I'm feeling really good. You know, work to be done. And then comes the team selection. And so the relegation, I pin it on the players, Rob Edwards, and the board. The game yesterday, I pin on Matt Bloomfield, who's got a lot right since he's come here, and the players. Especially our left-hand side, Ted Mengi and Amari Bell, who everyone's been saying, I don't want to see them in a Luton Town shirt again. In all fairness, I went through the squad list. I think I've come up with 10 people that I will keep for next year. A lot have to go. And that's going to be tough because a lot of them have very, very nice contracts. And a lot of people will happily sit on a very, very nice contract until it expires. The lineup yesterday was wrong. Ted Mengi, he's pretty much boss-eyed because he has one eye on the exit and one eye on what he's actually doing. And that's probably why over the past games where he's come into the squad, his clearances have been so bad because he doesn't know where he's passing it to. Like, look back at... I feel sorry asking you lot to watch back full match replays, but if you check out Ted Mengi's clearances over the past 3 games he's been in, they've been awful. Like, they should be going upfield, but he's been like pretty much kicking them towards our own corner flag. There's no reason that Ted Mengi should have started ahead of Cal Naismith. None. And that was typified by when Cal Naismith came on. He looked like we needed 2 goals just to draw the game. And Cal Naismith was barreling through like a angry Scotsman with a fantastic hair transplant. He was just charging through, trying to make things happen. Fair play to him. Fair play. He was instrumental in our 3rd goal yesterday. But otherwise, yeah. Mengi passing the ball straight to Tom Fellows, but trying to clear the ball. He cleared it straight, played a blinding 1-2 with Tom Fellows, and that was for their 1st or 2nd. I can't think of it. Thomas Kaminski maybe should have got a better hand on it for the 1st. But ultimately, it was our left-hand side that was torn apart. And one of the goals was straight through the middle again. A pass, straight pass, typified of our first half of the season when there was no midfield and people could pass right through us. Essentially, the players went into this game drunk on confidence, thinking, job done, easy peasy, right? But they needed to not lose. Ultimately, looking back at it, hindsight being 2020, Hull drew with Portsmouth. All they needed was a draw. All they needed to go out was turn up, don't play kamikaze football, and try not to lose. Keep it tight until half time and see what's happening in the other game. Oh, the other games, Hull are winning. Okay, well, let's be solid at the back and try and build and do something. Colton Morris looked pretty much done within 10 minutes. So naturally, what do we do at half time? We bring on to Heath Chong, who's weak as piss and isn't a striker. So we're playing the second half. We're down 3-1, I think, at half time. And we were playing pretty much the bulk of the second half with no striker. Bring on Lassie Nordas. He's the only striker we have on the bench. No, we bring on to Heath Chong. He is useless. Like, I'll drive him anywhere. I'll leave him out in a field somewhere. I don't care. But Heath Chong has to leave. But quite nice, isn't it? Because his first ever assist. Wow. Heath Chong got his first ever assist for Luton Town Football Club yesterday. Well done to Heath. Top stuff. Colton Morris. Possibly the worst captain we've ever had. He's come out and said all this stuff, we need to stick together. Colton, I've said it many, many times. You've had a few good performances of late, but I've said it as well. Your legs are obviously gone. And I gave you props and I apologize when it was necessary. But the reality is, Colton, it's time for you to leave the club. It's time for a lot of people to leave the club. But Colton, as club captain in lieu of Tom Lockyer, Colton, you need to keep a tight grip on the players. You need to be communicating with the players. And that is the problem with a striker that is a problem with a striker being captain. Because you're way up there. A captain should be in the middle of the park or the defence. So essentially they can talk forward to everyone as opposed to having to run back the whole time and trying to affect the game. The only striker that has been an effective captain pretty much in the history of football is Alan Shearer. And that's because he led by example. He was banging in goals. And that is something that Colton Morris has not done. I think he scored 8 goals this season, I want to say, and 3 of them have been pens. Maybe 4 have been pens. That is terrible. Elijah Adebayo, he's been terrible this season. Strikers was one thing we had to get right. And signing Lassie Nordas in January, if you're going to sign someone, give him a chance, because it was obvious the other strikers weren't doing anything. I'd say the January transfers were a good start, but it was putting a tiny little band-aid or plaster on a massive gaping wound that has been the last 3 transfer windows. And I said somewhere in many of the videos I've done, I've said, you are 2 transfer windows away from relegation. two bad transfer windows. We've had 3. I'd say the only good signing we made in the window preceding the Premier League would have been Ross Barkley. And that was, again, a small band-aid on a massive wound because he was fantastic. He made everyone else raise their game. But look at all the other players that we signed in that window. Jacob Brown, perennially injured. Mads Anderson, he was slow and the injuries haven't helped. And he's gotten even slower. Who would have thought it? Pretty much he's going to be running backwards soon. And then we have the January window. Daiki Hashioka. Footage not found. Honestly, when we signed him and we had that win against Brighton and we had that draw against Newcastle, he must have been thinking, wow, what have I come into? This is amazing. Yeah, Daiki, this is par for the course, mate. Back-to-back relegations. I haven't seen this in about, well, I struggle with years. What is it? It's almost 20 years, actually, when we had back-to-back relegations. But obviously, very different circumstances. This back-to-back relegation is completely different, purely because it was avoidable. It would have been avoidable had we not had this hubris. And I use the word hubris. That is the thought that essentially, well, in layman terms, your shit don't stink. And that is what Gary Sweet thinks, because he was instrumental in Luton Town going from non-league to the Premier League. Essentially, he knows what he's doing. Gary, you're not a football guy. Yeah, you've been around football. Yes, you got a consortium together to take us out of our very dark times, and we thank you for that. But you're a commercial guy. Stick to the commercial side. I hear there's an opening. Get someone else in who knows the football operation side. Because right now, this is going to be our most significant summer at Luton Town Football Club. Possibly in our history. We have to get everything right. We have to exit the right players. We have to bring in the right players because we cannot be hanging around in League One for too long. If we are in League One for more than one season, we will be there for a very long time. I don't know if that makes sense. Essentially, if we don't get out of League One, first time of asking, we are in League One for a long time. And League One football will come to Power Court. And Power Court will look like the MK Bowl. It will be very, very empty because football tourists will not want to come to Kenilworth Road. And those 6,000 people on the season ticket waiting list will not be buying season tickets. I can assure you that. Because when people were looking to get season tickets way back when we were last in League One, there was no waiting list. It was like, yeah, you want a season ticket? Yeah, absolutely. That season ticket list only grew in the Championship and then it got closed off in the Premier League. Careful what you build, because you could end up building a massive stadium that looks like one of those Brazilian stadiums that were built for the World Cup that is now just a repository for a lot of bird poo. I mean, there will be fans there, but probably no more than 10,000, maybe 12 at a push. Be very careful. But hey, at least we got spades in the ground this summer, so that's good. And Harry the Hatter, what? And Gary Sweet has a little hard hat that says CEO on it. Good stuff, Gary. Right, a lot more content coming over the season break, because there's going to be a lot of Championship stuff that we're going to be covering. We're going to do bits and pieces with Luton Town as well. Still Luton Town content that's going to be dropping on this channel. And we got the fan phone in tonight, season review, season autopsy. Get involved. The link is in the description below. I want to hear from you guys. I want to hear what your thoughts on Luton Town's season and who's to blame. Love to hear it. Everyone, have a great bank holiday weekend, and most importantly, come on you, League One Hatters.